Have you ever wondered how a simple young man, betrayed by his own brothers and sold into slavery, could become the most powerful man in Egypt, second only to Pharaoh? The story of Joseph is an incredible journey of dreams, betrayal, and redemption, teaching us valuable lessons about perseverance, faith, and divine purpose. Get ready to discover one of the most captivating narratives in the Bible, where every challenge Joseph faced was preparation for something far greater. Let's uncover together how God turned Joseph's pain into a grand plan that changed the history of a nation. The story of Joseph in Egypt is one of the most fascinating in the Bible, filled with lessons of perseverance, faith, and redemption. Joseph was Jacob's favorite son, which stirred jealousy among his brothers. While still young, Joseph began having prophetic dreams that indicated he would hold a leadership role in the future, something difficult to understand at the time. In one dream, he saw his brothers' sheaves of wheat bowing to his, and in another the sun, moon, and stars bowing down to him. This only increased the jealousy of his brothers, as they interpreted that Joseph was suggesting they would all bow to him. One day, while tending the flock, Joseph's brothers decided to get rid of him. Initially, they planned to kill him, but ultimately sold him as a slave to merchants heading to Egypt. They deceived their father, Jacob, by making him believe that Joseph had been killed by a wild animal. For Joseph, this marked the beginning of a journey filled with trials. In Egypt, Joseph was sold as a slave to Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh. Even as a slave, Joseph maintained his integrity and dedication. He was so efficient and trustworthy that he earned Potiphar's trust, becoming the manager of his household. However, Potiphar's wife tried to seduce him, and when Joseph rejected her, she falsely accused him, leading to his imprisonment. In prison, Joseph once again demonstrated his leadership skills and his connection with God. He interpreted the dreams of fellow prisoners, which eventually caught the attention of Pharaoh, who was troubled by dreams that no one could explain. Joseph was brought before Pharaoh, and with God's help he interpreted the dreams as a prophecy of 7 years of abundance followed by 7 years of famine. Impressed, Pharaoh not only freed Joseph but also appointed him as governor of Egypt, placing him in charge of the entire kingdom to manage resources during the crisis. During the famine years, Joseph's brothers came to Egypt seeking food. They didn't recognize Joseph, but he recognized them. Instead of seeking revenge, Joseph tested their character, and upon seeing genuine repentance, revealed his identity. It was an emotional moment of reconciliation, where Joseph demonstrated forgiveness and attributed everything to God's plan. He said, "You intended to harm me, but God meant it for good to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives." Joseph brought his entire family to live in Egypt, ensuring their safety and prosperity. His story is a powerful example of how God can use even the hardest circumstances to fulfill his purposes. Joseph teaches us to trust in God even when all seems lost, and to forgive even those who have caused us great harm. Joseph's life is more than a historical narrative. It is a timeless message of hope, perseverance, and trust in God's plan. Despite facing betrayals, injustices, and challenges, Joseph remained faithful, and God elevated him to fulfill a greater purpose. This story reminds us that no matter the difficulties, God is always in control. Joseph not only survived his toughest moments, but thrived because he never lost faith in God's purpose for his life. He shows us that adversities, no matter how intense, can be tools used by God to shape our character and prepare us for something extraordinary. The reconciliation with his brothers is one of the most moving moments in his journey. Joseph had the power to punish those who betrayed him, but chose the path of forgiveness. He recognized that everything that happened was part of a greater divine plan, one that not only saved his family, but also ensured the survival of an entire nation during the famine. This ability to see beyond immediate circumstances and understand God's purpose is what makes Joseph's story so inspiring. Additionally, Joseph's journey highlights the importance of using our skills and gifts, even in difficult times. He was an excellent administrator, both in Potiphar's house and as governor of Egypt. His wisdom in interpreting dreams and managing resources during the crisis not only saved lives, but also solidified his position as a key figure in biblical history. Finally, Joseph's life reminds us that faithfulness to God, even in seemingly hopeless situations, can lead us to destinations beyond our imagination. His story invites us to trust in God's timing, knowing that He can transform our struggles into victories and our tears into joy. Joseph of Egypt remains a living example that, with faith, integrity, and courage, we can overcome any obstacle and fulfill our purpose. It's a story that challenges us to look at our own lives and ask, am I fully trusting God to turn my challenges into something extraordinary? After all, Joseph's journey proves that with God, even the hardest paths can lead to incredible destinations. The story of Joseph shows us that even in the darkest times, God is at work, transforming our struggles into victories. It's a powerful lesson of faith, perseverance, and redemption that continues to inspire millions around the world. And if you want to discover more amazing stories like this one, filled with mysteries, lessons, and transformative messages, don't wait. Subscribe now to our channel, Fascinating Finds. Here, we explore the greatest treasures of the Bible and spiritual knowledge in a simple and impactful way. Click the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, and join us on this fascinating journey. Together, let's dive into the stories that can change your life.